Yesterday when I flew to Dallas, I took Uber. Any of you ever hear of Uber?
Yes.
Okay. Here's the interesting thing. Uber is 5 years old. And these are facts. 50,000 people a month join Uber. 50,000. Okay? Today, 5 years after its inception, Uber is valued at over $70 billion. Uber doesn't even own a car. They don't. They have no employees, basically. You know, they got all these part-time contractors that drive cars. Why do people join Uber?
Freedom. Their own hours.
Set their own hours, freedom, be their own boss. Does anybody look at Uber and say, I'm going to join Uber and make $1 million?
No.
They probably don't, do they?
No.
If you see the ads on television now for Uber, you will see how they attract 50,000 people a month. And they attract them with a very simple message of, you can earn some extra money in your downtime in your own vehicle. Money to, go buy a new dress. Money to go, simple things. And it's a very powerful message. And sometimes in our profession, and look, we all have big dreams and we want to go after those dreams. But when I saw this 9.5 years ago, I saw $200 a month. I saw what that Uber driver sees in Uber. So don't think that when you talk to your friends and people that you know, that an extra couple $100 a month is not a lot. It's huge. We know through statistics that an extra couple $100 a month truly could have saved many marriages. So what we offer is so powerful and so valuable to families. And I would just encourage you during the holidays. Thomas did a great job of explaining. During the holidays, we're going to be around more people than less people, aren't we? We're going to be around a lot of people. Tonight, I'm going to my wife's, her company's Christmas party. Those poor people don't have a chance. Okay? Now, I'm not going to bring up my business, but they will. Because they will eventually ask me what I do.
They see that ring.
And you know what? I didn't think about that. I might wear that tonight. I just might. I normally don't, except for stream events, but I might wear it tonight. Yesterday, I get into Uber, and I just find it fascinating that people from all different walks of life do Uber. Okay? And I asked the guy, how long you been with Uber? A couple of years. And how do you like it? Oh, I really like it. What do you do full time? And he told me, and I just kept asking questions. And eventually, what did he ask me?
What do you do?
What do you do? And guys, this is where you might want to start writing, or you might want to hit record. Because this is what I say all the time, and I get appointment after appointment after appointment after appointment. I said, well, you know how everybody gets an electricity bill. And what did he say? Yes. And well, you know how everybody gets a cell phone bill. Yes. Well, when people pay their bill, I get a check. And I shut up. What was his response? How do you do that? Every single time. When I left Dallas last night and I had to get a ride back to Love Field, I took Uber again. Okay? Guy's name was John. And we're talking, hey man, how you like working? How long you been with Uber? How do you like it? Blah, 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 blah. And then he said, but, and I can't make this stuff up, he actually said, I'm always looking for something else though. Can't make it up. And then he said, I said, really, well, what are you looking for? Well, something that I could do part-time, something that I could do, I could set my own schedule, I don't want to go to an office. You know, maybe something I could even do on the internet, I don't know. Oh gosh. Like taking candy from a baby, Scott. Okay. And then he said, so why are you in Dallas? I said, oh, I was at a planning event for my company. And he goes, oh, what do you do? And what did I say?
Well.
Now this is after he said, I'm looking for something I could do part-time. And when I said that, he goes, is that something I could do part-time? And I go, well, actually, the majority of people I work with do it part-time. Can you tell me more? Now, we had just pulled up to the airport, and I had to get out. I said, I'll tell you what, I'd love to give you a call. Can I connect with you? Absolutely. He pulls out a card, gives me his business card, and I'm gone. I get in the airport, I get settled, and I text him a message, and I send him a video. Now, you're going to meet lots of people over the next 30 days. So here's what we're going to do real quick. Everybody's sitting next to somebody. All right? So you're going to partner up with somebody, and one of the partners is going to say, so what do you do? And the other partner is going to respond with, and then, now how long does that take? No, it takes 10 seconds. And then you're going to swap. And the other person's going to say, well, what do you do? Okay? Because I want y'all to do this today so that when you leave here and you go to do it tonight, it won't be the first time you've ever done it.
Right.
Okay? So pair off with somebody right now, and somebody asks, what do you do for a living?
What do you do for a living? Well, you know how everybody pays a electricity bill every month?
Yeah.
And they pay a wireless bill every month?
Yeah, sure.
Well, every month when thousands of people pay those bills, I get a check.
How do you do that?
What do you do for a living?
Well, you know how everyone has to pay a cell phone bill or a wireless bill? When people pay their bills, they send me a check. Let me tell you. I love it.
The beauty of it is, and have you ever watched Richard Brooks?
I've seen him, yes.
Okay, did
He
everybody
does a video
flip-flop?
called Curiosity-Based Prospecting. That's what Jerry's so good at. It's just
Everybody had a chance to do it.
conversations with people. And just asking them questions.
This group likes to talk.
They're coming at you, which is what I love.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right. So, who can tell me how it felt to tell them what you do? Any volunteers? What? Sir, you had your hand up. What was it?
Wonderful. I do it every day.
Was it simple? Did you clam up and get sweaty and swallow hard and get nervous? Anybody else wants to comment on that? You felt confidence? If you ask somebody, what do you do? And they said to you, well, when people inhale oxygen, I get a check. What would you say?
How do you do that?
I start now.
Yeah. Guys, listen, you gotta trust me. Mike Jolly knows we've been doing this for 9 years. This is how I build my business. I go around and I have conversation with people And I don't talk about myself, I talk about them. Because of the law of reciprocity, that's a big word that means it'll come back. They're going to ask me what I do. And if they don't, it's okay. I made a new friend. So, and as I'm doing this, I'm getting messages from Adrian Avila. He is asking me to ask all of you to send your feedback on today's Fast Start School by text or email. And he's going to give me an email here in a minute to do that. Kind of cool. Okay, so if you think today was good, tell him. If you think today was bad, tell him. All right. I think it was Robert that talked about 2016 and 2017 and making a decision. And he was so right. I think it was him that said a lot of people will make, maybe it was Thomas, will make resolutions that they're going to start in January. No. Okay, what you do is you create habits starting today. We know resolutions don't work. We know that. Now I'm going to say something a little controversial right now. For the most part, goals don't work. For the most part. Should you have them? Yes. Do I have them? Yes. But I want to tell you something I've been taught, I believe, is much more effective than setting goals. And that is creating habits. If I have a goal to lose 20 pounds, anybody ever set a goal like that with me? And how did it work out? Okay? But what if I created a habit to walk a mile a day and to eat one less piece of bread a day? I don't know, I'm just making up a habit, okay? If I stuck to that habit, eventually would I hit my goal of, yes, I would. So I want to build, and you know, Stefan talked about MEI, monthly earned income. I want to ask you this, and be honest. If you had enough MEI, monthly earned income from Stream, that paid you exactly what you're earning at your job right now, so it covered your bills. If you had that coming in right now, how many of you would not show up to work on Monday? Look at the hands go up, guys. I want you to think about what you could do Monday if you had a check from Stream on the 15th of every month that allowed you not to go to work. You see what it allowed Stefan to do with his little boys. You see what it's allowed Randall to do with his baby girl that's now at Alabama. You see what it's allowed Thomas to do. I think most of us would have other things in our life that we would choose to do if we had a passive royalty, MEI, residual, whatever you want to call it, check that equaled or exceeded what you're earning right now. And the way you'll get there is by creating new habits. And those habits, I'm going to challenge you, start today. I'm going to give you a couple of habits that my mentor gave me that have meant all the world to me. And this is not stuff you haven't heard before, but you may not have heard it as far as creating a habit. Most of us in this room have a job, okay? And whether you go in the morning, the afternoon, the evening, whatever, you probably have a routine when you get up, when you're done sleeping, and you get up, take a shower, brush your teeth, get ready to go to work. The first habit that this gentleman taught me was during that time, you should have an audio playing of a positive message, a skills type of message, something good. Okay? It could be a faith message. It could be a lot of things. But you're taking a shower, and what I do is I got my iPhone and I got an external speaker that makes it louder, and I'm taking a shower and I'm brushing my teeth, and I've got Coach John Wooden playing. I've got Tom Schreider teaching me about skills. I've got John Maxwell teaching me about leadership. Okay? And that stuff's going on in the background. And if you don't think it's affecting you, you don't understand. It is. You don't even consciously have to be listening to it. But imagine if the people in this room was your team, and if all of us committed to 15 minutes a morning, while we're getting ready, we're already getting ready to go to work. Ladies, you're doing your makeup, whatever you do. But in the background, you got that audio going. Okay? Second thing, meet one new person a day. I did not say tell them about Stream. I just said meet one new person a day. Now, if you met one new person a day, in 1 year, how many new people would you meet?
366.
How many?
Leap year.
Leap year?
2 week vacation.
She said 366.
365.
365. I love it. If you had 365 new people in your pipeline, in 5 years, how many people would you have in your pipeline?
A bunch.
1,800? About 1,800 new people in your pipeline. What if you showed 10% the plan? 180. What if you sponsored 20% of them? 36 in 5 years. I don't know, I'm just throwing numbers out there. But it all started December 3rd on a rainy Saturday morning when you made a decision to create some new habits in your life. Listening to that audio and meeting one new person a day. Now, yesterday I met at least 2 new people, the 2 Uber drivers. I got both of their contact info. Okay? Now, it just so happened that I mentioned what I did because they asked me. But I don't have to. I don't have to tell them what I do. As long as I got their contact info, I can eventually call them, invite them for coffee, whatever, okay, and get a chance to meet with them. Third habit are the events. You can never get away. I really love our events. I love being around people. I love coming to Stream events. I love seeing your smiling faces. I love hearing your stories. I love hearing your dreams and ambitions. It fires me up. Can you imagine if we didn't get together on a consistent basis? You know, Randall Blackman's always taught me, Jerry, you know, it's one thing to see the preacher on TV Sunday mornings. It's another thing to be sitting there with the other folks. Okay? We need to come together on a regular basis. We come together on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturday mornings. We have big events that the company puts on. Again, I tell you, if this was your team, how many would you want attending those events? All of them. And where does it start? With us. So on the habits, if we would like our entire team to be doing them, we can make a decision, and the decision is, oh, Jerry, I'm not going to do that. Or, you know what? I am going to do that. I'm going to listen. Now, one thing I do when I drive, man, I am listening. I don't listen to garbage. Okay? I am listening to the good stuff. Putting good stuff in here. We all know, listen, we all know, you're all big boys and girls, we know, you know, you hang around with dogs, you'll get fleas. All right? You listen to bad stuff, it's going to have an effect on you. And it's your decision. You feed your mind with whatever you want. All right? There's so much good stuff out there. How many of you get the Success magazine? Oh my goodness, that CD in that magazine every month is so good. This month, the cover is December is Coach John Wooden. That CD, that article is so phenomenal. What he teaches, the success pyramid, and I had some audios from Coach Wooden. I hadn't listened to him in a while, but after reading the magazine, I went back and pulled them out. I even went to audible.com. If you guys don't know what that is, audible.com, and I downloaded some more of his stuff. Okay, and I went to Amazon and I downloaded a couple more of his books, and it just got. I mean, it's like I'm moving the rest of this year into a lot of his material. So I created that habit a long time ago, and there's no telling what effect it's had on me. I know I'm not the person I was 9 years ago, when I was a construction worker and didn't have this attitude, didn't have the gratitude that I have today. So, your decision. 3 simple habits. Can anyone do it? Absolutely. This is not rocket surgery. Okay? Everybody can listen to an audio every morning or in the driving university. Everybody can meet one new person a day. Everybody can attend events. It takes no special challenges. You know, in events you can go /associations. Who it is you hang out with. Okay? Over the next 30 days, we're going to be around lots of people. To get a conversation going, by the way, if you're not subscribed to this, you need to. If you go to Fortune Now, all one word, fortunenow.com, that's my mentor, Tom Schreider. You can subscribe to his newsletter for free. He teaches you skills. He teaches you what to say, what to do. His newsletter goes out twice a week. I know Thomas is a big fan. Yes. Right, Thomas? Big fan. I know Mike Jolly is. Okay. Randall, others. FortuneNow.com. And then if you go to BigAlBooks.com, that's another website he owns. If you just put in your name and your email address, he'll send you a free book called Why You Should Start Network Marketing Now, and 2 free audios on what to do and what to say. They're free. Everything's free. Okay? And just start putting this stuff in. I would tell everybody that's a great place to start. If you're going to listen to some audios, get his, download them, and listen to them. One thing he put out this week in his newsletter is, with it coming up on the end of the year, and I'll ask all of you this. Think back this time, 2015, and even getting closer to the new year of 2016, you know, late December. How many of you, like me, sat down and said, 2016 is going to be different? Right? In 2016, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and how did it work for you? Now, it didn't work out for me as well as I thought either, okay, because I have big goals and big aspirations. One of them I made public a year ago. Some of you know it. I said I was going to be the #2 money earner at Stringer. Guess what? Didn't happen, okay? Just flat out didn't happen. And guess who's responsible for that? Me, okay? The good news is we all have another opportunity. So Tom said something in a newsletter this week I thought was so profound. When you're around people at work, okay, you can say something like, I'm just curious, did 2016 turn out the way you planned it? Is that a great way to get a conversation going? And when whatever they say, you can say something really simple like, well, I just found out how to get an extra paycheck in 2017, and I'm taking it. And if they want to know more, what are they going to say? How? Really simple stuff, guys. And I didn't mention my business, but Tom taught me things to say to get people to ask me for a presentation. And boy, it's a whole lot easier when people are asking you than you asking them.